Blake Lively has lost her VIP status, and Scarlett Johansson was at Taylor Swift's wedding?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. It's Kim, and I am here with Andy, who is in Italy. Oh my gosh, Andy, where are you?
Can you tell where I am, Kim? Look what that leaning tower of Pisa behind me. We are officially here. Sorry if my internet's a little spotty. It's not always easy in these hills, but thanks to my new sponsor, we'll be talking about. They've been helping me a ton. But oh my God, it's stunning here. I want to move here. I want to live here. Kim caught me right between our tour at the Leaning Tower, so I thought I would give you guys a nice peek as we talk about this amazing story of Blake Lively losing all of her Hollywood cred.
Yeah, it's Rob Shooter has come out with
Yeah.
a new report saying that Blake Lively's Hollywood VIP perks have shrunk without Taylor Swift. So, insiders say that Blake continues to score invitations to events, from award shows to NFL games, the World Cup final, but what's changed, they say, isn't the invitation itself, it's the access that comes with it. Blake is absolutely still getting invited, but without Taylor, she's no longer automatically getting the best seats, the most exclusive lounges, or the kind of VIP treatment that came with being part of Taylor's inner circle. And does that surprise you at all? Because for me, it's
Not at all.
no.
Taylor was the VIP card. That's why Blake, I think, befriended her in the first place. If I'm really being honest, I don't think Blake and Ryan were just friends with her just because they were friends with her. You can tell that by her own text messages, right? She's her dragon. She does what she, helps her. Uh, Even Taylor admitted that later in her own text. If you feel different, Blake's the type of friend that we've seen through text that just uses people for her own gain. That's my perspective and opinion after reading it all. So no, I'm not at all surprised that now that Taylor's on the outs with Blake, and that's what I think it's important. It's not just that they're not seen together friends. I don't think Taylor wants anything to do with Blake or be associated with Blake, and therefore, if you're on Taylor's block list, that list is even worse than being on Ryan Reynolds or Blake Lively's block list. So they're getting a taste of their own medicine, which is pretty sweet, Kim.
Yeah. There's another quote here that just says Taylor's world operates on another level. Being one of her closest friends meant front row seats, invitation only parties, and access to the most influential people in music, sports, fashion, Hollywood. These opportunities don't automatically follow you once you are outside of that circle. Now, one thing I do think is interesting is it's like I had assumed that there would still be some VIP stuff because of obviously her connection to Ryan Reynolds, who is absolutely an A-lister. But I think it is really a testament, realistically, to the level of fame and power that Taylor Swift has across many industries. It's pretty crazy to see all of that coming together. But ultimately, the report ends with just saying she's still a celebrity. She'll always be invited, but there's a difference between being a VIP and being Taylor Swift's VIP. Hollywood notices those little details, and so does everyone watching. And I think that that's very truthful with the way that things are right now. It's a lot. So, Andy,
Well, I
we're
mean,
gonna.
who would want to be in that VIP circle with Blake anyway if you're going to potentially be deposed or sued for looking at them the wrong way? That's what Ryan and Blake have created now on their own accord. So I can step back. That's what they've created on their own accord now, because anybody who pisses them off the slightly is on their S list. You know what I mean? And therefore they can be sued, deposed, subpoenaed. Texts could be released. All that stuff is bad business if you're in Hollywood. But when you're on a crew and you're nobody talks about the private life. And once you do, you can't be trusted. And if you're not in the inner circle, then you're on the outer circle. And that's exactly what Blake and Ryan, I think, are now feeling the most. It's just shocking to me that we talked to Brian Friedman, guys. Stay tuned. The interview is coming. It's awesome. There's a 2-part interview, and he does talk a little bit more about the Taylor Swift text. So I'll wait till then. But it's clear to me, and I've always said this, Kim. I don't think Taylor fully understood what was going on. She was just trusting a friend, and we've all been there. We all have our friends back, right when we think they're in the right, but then we learn, oh, our friend's actually toxic, and I didn't know all that about it. So I was left in the dark. I was just supporting my friend, and I think that's what this situation is.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. Now, talking about being on the outside or the inside, we do also have this reveal, which I found to be very surprising. Um, Essentially, one of their guests, I believe it's Jack Sock, who's an Olympic medalist, let something slip about the wedding and who was there. So I'm going to play this for you guys. and you can hear it. I just want to make sure that the audio is working on that because my computer just did something weird, but we should be good. So here we go.
Probably the cocktail hour at the beginning, because it was kind of like in an arena, I guess. It was just one of the hallways they had with the cocktail hour, and there it was just, because you're kind of shoulder to shoulder with everybody. Jessica Alba, Scarlett Johansson, Charlize Theron, Brad Pitt.
Who? Who? Did I hear that okay? Should I pull back?
Hallways they had with the cocktail hour, and there it was just, because you're kind of shoulder to shoulder with everybody. Jessica Alba, Scarlett Johansson, Charlize Theron, Brad Pitt.
So, I have trouble not thinking that that's possibly a little bit of shade. That's my personal opinion and speculation.
Absolutely, that's shade.
For those of you who are not aware, Scarlett previously married to Ryan Reynolds, and Scarlett also got to make her directorial debut with a film, I believe this year, and it was backed by Wayfair Studios, which is
Eleanor
Justin
the Great.
Baldoni's.
Yeah.
Yes, and so good for her. And we've heard lots of positive things about her from people in the Wayfair parties. But my goodness, I was not expecting that.
Don't forget, I mean, I'm not, that's right. Colin Jost, her husband now, was on New Heights.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that was where the connection ultimately came of, they seemed to invite anybody who was on the show. Yeah, Colin Jost is head of Saturday Night Live right now, and he's popular in that crowd. I think Taylor really appreciates and respects Saturday Night Live, and I heard there were other Saturday Night Live people there, so it doesn't surprise me in that kind of regard. And she's Scarlett Johansson. She's awesome. And if Ryan Reynolds is on the outs, the only reason you might avoid Scarlett is just to be nice to your friend Ryan. But if Ryan's not going, hey, Scarlett, yeah, please come.
Yep.
Let's talk about Ryan. Can you imagine that scene where Taylor and Scarlett get to go out girls' night and actually talk honestly about Ryan? Because to be a fly on the wall on that one.
Yeah, that would be quite a moment. But I will say the last thing I wanted to get to, speaking of Ryan Reynolds and people that he's close to, In Touch has put out an exclusive report that Sandra Bullock is apparently going to be his secret weapon, his trump card for coming back into Hollywood. I don't know how much I believe this, but it's interesting. Let's get to it. Ryan Reynolds has had plenty of friends to count on in Hollywood since his wife Blake Lively's fallout with Taylor Swift, and a source exclusively tells In Touch that he's counting on the friendship with his proposal co-star Sandra Bullock to help him get back on track. Ryan's special relationship with Sandra is a trump card he hasn't had to pull yet through all the crazy legal battles of the last 20 months over It Ends With Us and the fight between Blake and Justin Baldoni. He and Sandra have always had plans to work together again. Plus, it helps that, according to the source, Sandra and Blake love each other and are both incredibly close to the filmmaker Paul Feig, who we know was, A Simple Favor and all that. He's
with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy was awful. Paul Feig is very hit or miss. Bridesmaids, great. I think he did Bridesmaids. But a lot of the other movies are god awful. But yeah, this doesn't surprise me. Yeah. He's, of course, once again, proof that they use people when they need to, right? They can't do the proposal too. So just because they're in a movie together doesn't mean it's going to do well. But yeah, Deadpool and Sandra Bullock are the last two cards he has left. And it would not surprise me to see him play both as quick as possible to get his stock back up, because let's be honest, even though we don't like him, a lot of people could probably be swayed to like Ryan again. Blake is the problem. Blake is going to have a way tougher time than I think Ryan will. Although when people see the documentary and really understand how much more involved Ryan is, maybe they'll come around too. I hope so, for the sake of truth and justice. But in the meanwhile, Ryan definitely has more stock market value, even still, I think, to the general audience.
Yeah. But I will say the article goes on to say now he has to recenter himself amid audiences, why he became a star in the first place, which means light action comedies, rom-coms, movies that make people smile. Ryan needs to get in touch with himself in these kinds of projects, and those genres are Sandra's specialty. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
He's an egomaniac who needs to control all the movies. We've learned that now through Deadpool, and now it's just what he does. And now Blake's trying to copy that same style, and it's not going to play forever. People are fed up with working with a-holes. You know what I mean? And so I think Ryan's now dealing with the reality check of, oh crap, I'm not titanium. I can be canceled. I can be destroyed. My stock can go down. Yeah. So I've always said it. No one's too big to fall.
Absolutely. So that's all the new news we have for you guys right now. Andy, I know you need to get back to your family and everything going on in Italy.
I gotta meet my tour, but look how gorgeous that is.
It's stunning. I do also just want to give a shout out to the last 2 videos that we have put out. It's a brand new series that Andy's been doing.
Oh my God, guys,
From the
please,
vault.
we're gonna put them on
Check it
screen. They're coming on screen right now on my face. They're right there. Click on these vault videos. Please watch them. They're so much fun. It's like, what if we went back in time and revisited these iconic pop culture moments? No one's clicking, and you should, because they're amazing. Don't let the algorithm hide them from you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and check them out.
Bye,
Thank you, guys. Click them. Click them.